Welcome back to another session, another edition of your morning workout talk brought to you by your literary pharaoh. Yeah, guys, I know I didn't bring a video Friday, but I still went to the gym. I was off from work Friday, so me and my wife went together. So when she's in the car with me, I don't do my morning workout talk. But this morning, it just happens to be that me and her are both going to the gym, but she's not in the car with me right now. She's driving her own car because I go to work today, and our schedules worked well together, where we could actually go to the gym this morning together. So we'll be working out together today. But after we're done, I shower, go home. She comes home and gets ready for work later because she goes to work later in the morning. I have to be at work a little bit earlier, so we're taking separate cars. So that's how that works. But yeah, man, I did what I told you guys I was going to do. I ran. I did some running on Saturday. Remember I told you guys Monday, Wednesday, Friday is gym. Tuesday, Thursday is my yoga. And Saturday, I did run. And then Sunday, I went outside of my, like in my driveway. I did some sun gazing as well. And when I'm sun gazing, like I told you guys as well, I'm stretching. I'm doing some core work, some ab work. So you could really just say that I actually worked out every day this week, if you want to say that. But I don't view my sun gazing stuff that I do on the mat outside my house. I don't view that as a workout. That's just me just stretching and just, paying homage to my body. And that's a form of worship. I've told you guys before, there's no such thing as a God you worship. You have to take care of yourself. You are the God that you're seeking. Whatever, because you can't, in this 3D reality that we live in, the time-space capsule that's bound by physicality, no one has seen a such thing as this God they talk about. But what we do know is ourselves. What we do know is that, if someone gives me a helping hand, if I was drowning in an ocean and somebody came by to save me and pull me out of the water from drowning and meeting my death, I can say God helped me. We are all gods. We help each other out. The best thing you can do is worship yourself so you can be better for your fellow man. So yeah, I wouldn't consider what I did Sunday like a workout. It's just me paying homage to my body, worshiping myself. And also, you have to consider the fact that we're supposed to be active, like we're made to move. It's the reason why our creators gave us legs and arms. This idea that you're always supposed to be just not, comfortable. If you're always seeking comfort, that's the actual problem. Because the only way that comfort can become something that's worthy or something that's considered, a significant commodity is that if you spend your time seeking uncomfortable situations. Because only then, and only at that moment can you actually appreciate being comfortable. And then comfortable becomes something that's subjective, because one man's comfort is another man's discomfort. But if you put yourself through hard times, whether you put yourself in there voluntarily or not, once you come out of hard times, a lot of things that didn't seem to be comfortable become comfortable, because now you have a different perspective. You have something to kind of glean from. You can extrapolate certain ideals and ideas from the things that you've been through. So that's the way I look at it. I think that we're always supposed to be active. We're made to move. But a lot of us, we do most of our movement when we're working for somebody. When we go to work, our 9-to-5s, or whatever jobs we have, we tend to exert more energy there. And then we think that once we're off, we're supposed to just shut down. No. The jobs we work are a form of slavery. And to be honest with you, you shouldn't even be giving your all at work, like your job. A lot of times people say things like, what do you do for a living? I know what I tell people when they ask me that. I say, I work out. They said, that's your job? I'm like, no, that's what I do to live. You say, what do I do for a living? I do that to live, so I can experience life and experience it in the fullest way that I can at my age. the jobs that we work is just indentured servitude. We're paying off a debt. Whether you have a mortgage, you have a debt. Whether you have rent, that's your debt. Like you have to pay that in order to live, in order to actually have a roof over your head. But in terms of living your life inside that house, or whether you're in your car and you're driving anywhere, whether you're driving to work or driving to the store, the condition of your health status is predicated on what you do for a living. So I hope you guys get why I tell people that. I know it sounds like I'm being a little bit, facetious, or I'm being sort of, a jerk, but I'm not. Like, look at the question, what do you do for a living? What I do to live is I endeavor to eat healthy, take care of my body, and work out. That's what I do to live. Now, to pay bills in this effed up system that we live in, yeah, my job is my job. But my job is not what I do to live. You know what I mean? Like, if you took away my job, I could be homeless, but I'll still be alive. How I treat my body and the things that I do to myself is going to dictate the condition of living that I sustain until my last breath. That's the way it works. All right, that's the way it works. So yeah, we're made to move, guys. We're not made to, a lot of times people say, I got to just move. Like, no matter what state you're in, whether you're overweight, just start walking every day. Do something. You owe it to yourself. Worship yourself. You can't be spiritual and taking your obese ass to church every day or church every Sunday, and you deem yourself. That's antithetical to spirituality. That's the antithesis to spirituality. Like, spirituality and physicality are bound in one, and the physical aspects that we see from people is just an indication of their spiritual lives. Like, if you can't control your eating, and you're not conscious enough to be very cautious, and be very circumspect about what you put inside your body. Like, if you don't care that much, then how can you deem yourself spiritual where the one temple that your God has given you, you're not even taking care of it? If you believe in this God in the sky that's going to save the day and make everything all better, that loves you, and you have this relationship with this God, then how come this God that you have a relationship with doesn't give you advice on how to take care of yourself? You see, that whatever we're seeking is not going to come outside of us. It's always going to come within us. We find it out. But, I just think because of the way we've been programmed, we intentionally and automatically just start to give credit to a God. But the God you're giving credit to is yourself. Because it's through innovation, it's through self-reflection and you taking the time to change your perspective on the way that you've been living that allows you to actually grow to that state where you start being more conscious about the things you put inside your body. When we were younger, we were fools. The older we get, we become more knowledgeable, which lends its hands to wisdom. And as you have more wisdom, you start to have a different way of approaching life. You start to know that in life, every decision you make has a dualistic concept that's attached to it. The dualistic concept that's attached to it is life and death. When the Bible talks about, you can either choose life or choose death, it goes more, it's deeper than just choosing life, like, oh, I'm going to follow God, or no, I'm going to follow the devil and go to hell. It's not that black and white. I mean, in the spiritual realm, it's black and white because that's what they use to oppress you, the simpletons, the people who base their decisions off of fear, the emotional toxin that deters you from your purpose. Immediately you start acting off of fear, and then you've already lost your purpose. But when I'm talking about making decisions that are riddled in the dualistic concept of life and death, I just mean that whatever you do, whatever decision you make, whether you choose to put in something in your body that gives you life, or you choose to put something in your body that's going to actually kill you. Because out there, believe it or not, there are foods that heal and there are foods that kill. It's up to you to make the decision of what you're going to do. Are you going to be a taste whore? A person that's just I follow the taste, because if you do so, then you are an addict. Chemical addiction is real. And these things that they do to foods, they put things in them to make us addicted to them. So you have to tell yourself, am I going to go for taste or am I going to go for health? I go for health all the time. I understand that, changing your palates into eating something totally different is hard, because if you're used to always eating sugary junk foods, and to try to switch to something that's healthy may taste a little different, it doesn't mean it tastes bad. It just means that your palate is being shocked, and you're like, oh my God, how do I adjust to this? But oh my God, I'm not gonna talk about this guy. This guy's annoying. It's this guy that works in the gym. He's like a security guard, and he's like 4'2", dude. Like, he just likes to talk too damn much. You know those people who, like, you just want to work out? He doesn't even, like, he's not working out. He's a security guard. He walks around and just talks to people. I'm like, dude, like, people aren't, like, this is your job, is to be a security guard here. Like, my job is, my work job is to get the fuck out of here. Like, you're already doing what you're supposed to do. I'm on a schedule here. Like, I gotta work out and go. Like, you're here. You've already made it to your thing. So yeah. That's why I deem it. That's why I look at it. But yeah, I'm low on gas. I'm gonna have to get gas on my way to work as well. So that means I can't toy around in here. Like, my wife just parked next to me right now. And, like, it's like 4:36. This is like early. I can't believe I got here. Well, being that me and my wife came together, I didn't think that I was gonna be this early, because usually when we're both getting ready, it tends to take a little longer. But we got out the house in a really good time. Really impressed. But yeah, it's awkward right now because she's like next to me, and I'm like talking, so she probably thinks that I'm talking to myself. But it is what it is. But like I said, my goal is to start to make these videos shorter. I know a lot of people, time is money and money is time, so don't want to waste too much of you guys' time. But just wanted to give you guys a brief summary of my workout week last week. I did do everything that I said I was going to do, and I did something on Sunday as well. And when you're constantly busy, you're not thinking about food. I think it's people who don't have a regimen. Food becomes your God in a sense. And I'm not here to demonize food. I'm here to demonize the food industry. The way they package their foods, the chemicals they put in them, the genetically modified aspects of the foods we eat, the toxic contents, the carcinogens, the foods that cause inflammation. That's what's hurting us, folks. The cure for cancer is not some mythical cure that's going to drop out of the damn sky. It's not just going to appear out of the ether. The cure for cancer is bound up in the decisions that we make as human beings. Like, what are you going to choose to do? Are you choosing to eat your way to death, or are you choosing to eat your way to health? There's two paths, folks. And I'm big on the eating part. I know I talk about my workout stuff a lot, and I tell you what, I'm going to the gym. Going to the gym, like, working out is only like 30% of it. 70% of it is diet. But the working out part, yes, it helps you get the results that you want faster. And it also reminds you what the goal is. So if I kill myself, if I bust my ass in the gym, it's very, very hard for me to walk out and get into my car to say I'm going to go to McDonald's. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, if you really are serious about changing your life, or changing the way you look, and changing the way you perceive life in general, and to reinvigorate your soul, and to give yourself a little bit more, enthusiasm into how you see life. Because right now, if your life is just predicated on work, come home, drink a Red Bull, for energy, sit there, smoke a cigarette, whatever you do, whatever people do to cope with their realities or to cope with their stresses. If that's your life, then you're already dying a slow death. I'm sorry to tell you that. I have to be honest. Um, you can either put in the work now to have a longer, better life, or you can just give up now and live comfortably and then live a shorter life and die in pain. So that's just a matter of fact. There's no shortcuts in life, and the shortcut that you think you're taking at times is usually what brings your life to a short. It shortens your life. Pun intended. Shortcuts leads to a short life. You can't skip the process. We think that we can just take a magic pill to lose weight, or we can go to the doctor and get surgery to take the fat off. No, you're gonna have to go through the process. It took time to go through the process to get obese. It's gonna take time to go through the process to undo the obesity. If you have diabetes as well, you have to eat your way to that point. You can also uneat your way. You can eat your way away from diabetes as well. You have to respect the realm that we live in. You work your way to your death. You also have to work your way to live. Like, you can't. There's no escaping that. There's no shortcut. You can't live like shit and expect to go to a doctor to give you a magic pill to cheat the process. No. So yeah, we have to be very mindful, and you may not have a lot of friends on this journey as well. When you make this decision to say, look, I'm gonna focus on my health, and I'm not gonna give you what I do, because it's not about you following my workout regimen. There's something called the internet, and there are many workout plans, and the workout plans are great. It's not so much the workout plan. It's not like let me find the magic workout to get to where I want to be. I want you guys to move away from the idea of trying to get a result. The results are gonna come. It's by default. It's inevitable. You can't escape the results coming. It will come. But it's twofold. Eating to me is spiritual, and the working out is the physical aspect. You say, why is eating spiritual? Aren't you physically munching the food and mechanically breaking it down, and then, chemically the enzymes in your body breaks down the foods and it goes to where it needs to go for digestion? No. Eating is spiritual because you have to think about what you're going to eat before you eat it. The eating is just the physical manifestation of a spiritual process, or the spiritual origin of it. So the inception of eating starts with spiritual thought. You're thinking first. You have to make a decision. If you can get your spiritual life intact, and get your spiritual life on track, spirituality has nothing to do with reading your damn Bible or going to church. Spirituality is to be able to have discernment in this realm of hell that we live in, inundated by a bunch of processed junk, for you to make a decision. I'm going to choose life or death. Choosing life and death has nothing to do with choosing God or choosing the devil. That's for simpleton. That's for prehistoric people. Choosing life or death is choosing to live a life that's going to allow you to live to your higher self. Okay? So, if you can control your life spiritually and control those urges and impulses and choose to eat right, that's one aspect of it. And to me, if you talk about percentages, that's the most important part, because how you eat is going to actually influence or dictate what kind of workouts you do. So if you eat better, you'll have more strength. You won't have lethargy. You won't have that emotion of indifference towards working out. You'll care. There's no apathy there. You actually want to go work out. You want to go for a walk. You want to go for a jog. You want to go to the gym. Even if you don't have a gym membership, you can do things at home, calisthenics. Do something, all right? You can do air squats. You can do jump squat. Do something. There are plenty of videos there. Go to Pinterest. Go to online. Like, there's a voluminous amount of workout videos out there. You can look on YouTube and people are giving you suggestions, okay? Then the workout part comes. So the eating part is the spiritual part. The working out part is the physical part. You need both parts. the goal should not be, I want to lose weight. Now, it's fine if you want to lose some weight, or you have some areas that you want to reconstruct or whatever, reshape. That's fine, you can have that. But deeper than that, deeper than what you see on the surface, is that you want to be balanced. And the only way you can be balanced is to see life clearly through the lens of a person that worships themselves and takes care of themselves. Because then you slowly start to see the God that you are. When you start living like a God and being happy about the things that you're doing, because you're gonna have to continually pat yourself on the back, because you're gonna have to continually remind yourself what you came out from. Man, I used to eat junk food every day. Man, I used to eat McDonald's and Burger King. I used to go to Wendy's. I used to drink this. I used to da-da-da. I gave all that up. Look at what's happening to me. You start to see the generator, the organizer, and the dispenser you are, the God that you are. You start to see who you are. That's what God stands for, okay? The G-O-D, generator, organizer, and dispenser of your own reality, G-O-D. And as you start to see that, your body starts to take shape. You start to look like a god or a goddess. The physical part comes naturally, but it is all stimulated by what you eat and the drive you have to actually work out. And we call it workout, but it's truly just being active. Just like animals are active, they move around. We're made to move around. We're not made to just sit in front of a television all day, or sit at our work desks all day and then drive, no matter how far your work is. Some people drive 45 minutes to an hour to work, or however long you drive to work. Like, we're sitting too much, and then we're eating bad too much. And you combine that too. It's a recipe. It's an environment made for sickness. You're eating foods that cause sicknesses, and you're not doing anything to expel those toxins. You're not doing anything to sweat. You're not doing anything to help your mental state, because deep breathing helps stress. But guess what? When you're working out, guess what you're doing? You're deep breathing. You're doing it. That's why when people get through working out, they have this euphoria. There's this feeling of joy and happiness when they're done. That's the life of a God. If you continue to do that, you make that. Why do you think I start to change my regimen? I start to work out more. Remember, if you guys have been following me, I actually do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I told you guys in the video, I said, man, this feels good. This feeling that I have when I'm done feels so good. So I start to incorporate yogas on Tuesdays, Thursdays. So now I'm going Monday, Wednesday, Friday to the gym, Tuesday, Thursday doing yoga. And then all of a sudden I push the envelope. I'm like, oh, hold on, I like this feeling. Because during the summer I ran a lot with my wife. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to run on Saturdays. See, you start to expand. As your body starts to adapt to you, you start to adapt to your body, then you start to have newer challenges. But it's not challenging in a way where it's like a bad thing. It's like you seek it out. And then you're becoming more of a God. When you don't work out and you don't eat right, you feel bad. Whereas before, when you ate bad and you didn't work out, you felt good, because lethargy and laziness was who you were. It became you. But when you start to pull yourself and extract yourself out of that mode of death, and you start to do things that are life-giving, you never want to turn back. And if you do turn back, you're like, oh, I can't believe I used to eat this. Oh, man, I can't believe I used to drink this. All right? So it doesn't mean that the world likes to tell people that you're being a health nut, you're being too you're overkill. These are things I've heard. Oh man, you're too strict with your diet. No, I'm not strict with anything. I'm just choosing at every turn of my life to make sure that I put things in my body that are not going to harm me. And if I do put something in my body that harms me, it's done out of ignorance, which is very rare. That's when I first began this journey. I would occasionally eat things that I thought were okay, and then I would find out later that it was not okay. All right? So that's this video. I've went over the time that I wanted to go, but I just wanted to give you guys a heart-to-heart to let you guys know that wherever you are, start where you're at. Don't compare yourself to anybody, and take care of yourself. That's the best form of worship. And as you take care of yourself, you start to see the world through a better lens, and you start to appreciate things better. All right, take care. Till next time. Peace.